Abyssal love, the prince's vow. A prince of the land and a prince of the sea set sail on a journey where hearts lead the way. Bound by a vow deeper than the tides, their love becomes the light that guides them through every storm. Chapter 2. The Moonlit Oath. Beneath the moon's soft gaze, the tides of destiny pull two souls toward an oath, bound by the sea's eternal whisper. The night had deepened, and only the soft hush of waves lapping against the shore disturbed. The silence, an endless rhythmic melody played by the sea itself. Elias lay sprawled upon the warm, salt-kissed sand, the cool night breeze caressing his face and coaxing him slowly back to consciousness. Gradually, he opened his eyes to a sky, strewn with countless stars, the vast heavens glittering like a crown above the ocean. Silver light shimmered across the restless waters, painting ripples of moonlight that danced upon the surface. He sat up, breath catching in his throat as the memories returned. The raging storm, the helpless fall into the depths, the heavy suffocation of drowning, and the mysterious young man who had reached through the darkness. Kael of Thalassia, the prince of the sea. Turning his head, Elias saw him at last, seated quietly upon a nearby rock, his silver-blue tail submerged in the shallows, the translucent fins stirring the water into soft ripples. Moonlight bathed his figure in a gentle glow, casting him more spirit than flesh, as if he were the very soul of the ocean incarnate. For a long moment Elias could do nothing but stare, spellbound by the sight, until Kael turned to him and spoke. "You're awake. It was you who saved me," Elias said, his voice low, wonder and gratitude shimmering in his gaze. "Thank you." Kael offered a faint smile but answered nothing. Instead, he lifted one hand, and in his palm a small orb of sea-blue light blossomed into existence. With a graceful wave, he summoned a warm ocean breeze that swept over Elias, drying his sodden clothes in a breath. Elias gasped in astonishment, staring as his garments, once heavy with seawater, turned crisp and dry as though they had never touched the tide. You can control the ocean?" he whispered, awe threading his voice. Kael inclined his head. "In a way, the sea is my home." Elias fell into thoughtful silence. He was a prince of the land, and Kael a prince of the ocean. Two worlds that should have remained forever apart, yet here they were, drawn together by the unseen currents of destiny. "Where are we now?" Elias asked, glancing around. The island was small, a lonely patch of earth adrift in the endless sea, crowned with coconut trees and tangled vines. It bore no sign of human habitation, only the ageless hush of the wild. "This is Lunaris Isle," Kael said, his voice carrying a quiet reverence. "One of the sacred sites of the royal sea clans. I do not visit often, but tonight, fate brought me near." A strange sense of comfort washed over Elias. Had Kael not been there, he would surely have perished. "Thank you for saving me," Elias said again, this time with solemn weight. Kael's gaze lingered on him, his deep blue eyes vast as the open ocean. In a voice as soft as the sighing waves, he replied, "You need not thank me. Perhaps it was simply fate." The words drifted between them, carried by the salt-laden breeze. For a time, they sat in silence, the night stretching vast and infinite around them. At last, Elias spoke, his voice tentative. "May I ask why you saved me?" Kael lowered his gaze as if searching within himself for the answer. After a long pause, he murmured, "I do not know for certain, but when I saw you sinking into the depths, something stirred in my heart. I could not bear to let you vanish." Elias's heart quickened. He studied Kael's expression, finding no deception, only a simple, earnest truth. In the vastness of the night upon the forgotten shore of an unnamed isle, the world beyond seemed to fall away, leaving only the two of them, bound together by some invisible thread. Drawing a deep breath, Elias spoke with slow, steady resolve. "No matter what fate has planned for us, I owe you my life. Should you ever need my help, I will not hesitate to come." Kael blinked, a glimmer of surprise in his eyes. before a small smile graced his lips. Then, I will remember your promise. Their eyes met, holding each other in a silent oath. Then Kyle turned, lifting his hand to point toward the distant horizon, where the faintest light of dawn threatened the edges of night. Your fleet is likely searching for you. I can take you back. Elias stiffened, torn. He had not expected their parting to come so swiftly. Yet he belonged to the land, just as Kale belonged to the sea. He rose to his feet, brushing sand from his clothes. Yet before he could step away, he turned once more, unable to keep the words inside. What if? I wish to see you again. Kale's eyes widened slightly, an emotion, fleeting and unreadable, passing through them. After a heartbeat of silence, he answered, his voice low and steady, as if sealing an ancient pact. On the first day of every month, when the moonlight touches the sea, I will wait for you on the shore, where land and sea embrace. Elias's heart hammered against his ribs. He smiled, extending his hand with firm resolve. Then it's a promise. For a moment, Kyle simply stared at him. Then slowly he smiled, a smile as luminous as the sea under starlight, and reached out, clasping Elias's hand in his own. His touch was cool, carrying the faint kiss of seawater. It was their moonlit oath, the beginning of a story that would echo across both land and sea. A promise forged in moonlight, destined to drift across the waves and shore until time itself bows before it.